Alrighty, everybody, good morning and welcome to the show. It is Friday, the 27th of December, 2024. I'm DSP, and obviously, we can all see the new thing in the room. Today, I have a professional grade microphone, the likes of which I haven't, really looked into in over 10 years. It was 2014 when I moved here to Washington State from Connecticut. And back then, when I was in Connecticut, I was only using USB microphones that were very basic, sitting on a table in front of me in the light. And when I moved out here, I wanted to be more professional. I listened to my viewers who were like, you gotta get a preamp and you gotta get an XLR mic and you gotta do this and you gotta do that. Admittedly, back then, I knew way less about any of this stuff than I do today. I didn't use filters. I didn't mess with it at all. I just kind of let it sit there plugged in, and sometimes it sounded great, and sometimes it sounded awful. So, obviously, quite a lot has changed in the last decade when it comes to people podcasting and broadcasting and recording. You know what I'm saying? And it left me behind. It really did. I just stayed with the same equipment because I felt, I don't need upgrades or whatever. In some cases, that is true. For example, my preamp here, alright, which is basically, the Focusrite Scarlett 2i or something like that. It's 10 years old, but in the last decade, preamps haven't really changed that much. The newest version of this preamp is pretty much exactly the same as what I have now. It has very minor changes or improvements. So looking at that, I don't ever need to really, upgrade that as long as it's working. Just keep the same preamp. And that, if you don't know, a preamp is what these microphones plug into and converts the signal into something that's USB that you could use with your computer. But when it comes to microphones, no exaggeration, in the last decade, they have improved greatly. Okay, my last microphone, which was an Audio-Technica, was great for the time, but it's the style of mic. I don't remember the call. It's a cardioid. No, because cardioid, it's different. There's different, I think it's called condenser mic. That's exactly what I was trying to think in my head. Condenser mic. A condenser microphone works well when you are facing the front of it. And that's about it. You need to be facing the front of it in order for it to work well. So as long as it's directly in front of me, it's great. The problem being, now with my setup changing, I don't want to have a microphone directly in front of me. What if I want to use a nice special effect like this, and if the microphone's in front of me, now it's blocking the shot? Or, in the case of when I was gaming, it was actually blocking my arms. And it was having my arms completely disappear, or right here would cut off, right? So, you want to have something that's not going to have to get in the way. The vast majority of podcasters, broadcasters, and content creators today use a microphone that they aim from a direction, usually from up above them, and they use a boom arm to do so. I haven't had that available set up because I didn't have the room, I didn't have the means to do it. Finally now, this, fall, with me doing all these major upgrades, I now have the ability to do it. And now, today, for the first time in the greater part of a decade, I have a new microphone that is professional grade. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about it. It is not what you think, because some people are thinking I bought the, top of the line microphone. I did not. So yesterday, we were talking about mics, and people had different opinions. Some were like, the EV is the best one, the Shure is the best one, you should buy this one, you should buy that one. People were throwing all this information at me. Well, all the information that was being thrown at me was basically the most high-end possible mic. The most high-end mics, no exaggeration, cost around $400+. Alright? Do I think I'm going to get the use out of those microphones for that premium price? No, not really. Those microphones are basically for voice actors, singers, and performers who want to get the absolute best audio out of that mic. Audiophile level, if you're going to be hitting high highs and low lows and all this stuff, then you want one of those mics. Even for a podcaster, they're too good. And it's funny because someone's like, well, Joe Rogan uses them. Oh, Joe Rogan, the multimillionaire. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he just said buy the best. He doesn't really need it. He just said buy the best because he can afford it, right? In my case, I don't need that. Okay? So what I did is I looked into it last night, and I was trying to find a microphone that's much better than what I have, but isn't going to break the bank, isn't going to be me paying an over-the-top premium for something I'm not going to use. And I was also looking for one that had a nice feature. Okay? Well, of course, like everything, buying stuff online is hit or miss. Alright, first of all, let me show you what I got. The Shure M7V Plus podcast microphone works with both XLR, which is the standard microphone technology that everyone has been using for ages. By the way, I just noticed that the box was dented when it arrived. That's nice. Good thing that I had good packing. Or it also uses USB-C. So you can use either or. Okay? Me doing research yesterday, I looked into it at the different quality of the different microphones. This is actually very similar to the top of the line Shure mic. The top of the line one I think is called like the S7BD or something like that. And basically, it's just like so minor of an improvement. Looking at the stats and the way that it picks up the sound, I'm not going to really benefit from paying the extra $150+ You know, it's more than half the cost of this. This microphone is just over like $240, okay? I'm not going to benefit from paying $400 for a microphone. I'm not going to get anything better out of it. I'm not a singer. I'm not a voice acting performer. I don't need it. All right? So I looked into this one. And the reason that I got it was twofold. Number one, because it is this type of mic that points at you, which is what I want. At this point, I just want the mic to point at me, and then it's going to pick up the best audio. As you can hear right now, it sounds pretty good, doesn't it? And by the way, do you hear the bass in my voice? This microphone, as long as it's relatively close to me, will pick up a lot of the bass in my voice, which the other microphone was only doing when it was like dead center in front and stuff like that. This one is going to pick it up much nicer because it's directionally pointed at me. It's going to get those inflections of bass and everything in my voice. But here's the other very nice feature of this microphone, which I think you guys are going to enjoy. All right, just listen to this. Ah. So I know that was a little variety of sound effects. But did you notice something in that variety of sound effects? Did you notice that nothing dropped off? Did you notice that you could hear the high highs and you could hear the claps? Did you notice that absolutely nothing is cutting off or dropping? This microphone should not cut off or drop any range of sounds. It's built to actually be able to cover those sounds. Okay? Lucky Gremlin, if you say it sounds the same to you again, I'm just going to remove you from chat. Because I've already tested this, and it's concretely different, and I've had enough of people being negative every day, and you're one of them. So just stop right now. This microphone is significantly better than the one that I had previously. Okay? You can actually hear the laughing. You can hear the high tones. It's not cutting off and muting like the old mic used to do. The problem was with the old mic, it couldn't handle the extremes. It was either one way or the other. So this one can handle the extremes and adjust them. Okay? That's what's good about the mic. So this will actually sound more similar to the previous mic levels that I had. Only difference is now it won't blow your ears out. This is what I wanted to do when I put all the filters on the microphone earlier in the year. But it didn't really work. The filters basically muffled too much. Well, now this microphone is working well. And the thing is, I still have the filters on. Here's what happened, okay? Let me tell you the whole story from start to finish of getting this working this morning. So, I unbox it, and it has a USB cable in it. I'm like, well, I don't want to use it with USB. I want to use it with my existing preamp. Well, I have to use the XLR cable then. So, I just unplugged the XLR cable from my previous microphone, and I go to unscrew my previous microphone, and guess what? I can't get it off the boom mic stand because the metal rod that it attaches to rotates. So if I'm trying to unscrew it, the entire rod is rotating. So I'm like, I have to get a wrench, hold this thing in place so I can detach the old one. I had to run to the garage and grab a wrench to do that. Unplugged the XLR from that, screwed this guy in. I immediately noticed that this guy is heavier than my previous mic by a lot, actually. It actually has much more in it, I guess. So then I tightened everything super tight so it wouldn't sag. I tried to position it well, and I got it all set up, and immediately I noticed it wasn't working. So FYI, let me show you something. I want you to take a look at that microphone. Do you see something on it? I know this is silly. You're going to say, oh, there's a light on it. Yeah. So this microphone is supposed to have touch to activate and touch to mute. I was like, oh, that's a nice feature. So when I'm using it, and let's say that I want to stop talking for a second, I'm going to sneeze, or I'm going to cough, or I'm going on a break. Okay, guys, I'll be right back. And then I should be able to walk out of the room, and you can't hear me. Except I plugged it in, I'm looking at it, I'm like, the light's not turning on. And then I look over at my preamp, and it wasn't even blinking as if it was receiving sound. And I'm like, uh-oh, what's going on here? So I basically started to look all around. Okay, I'm trying to figure out what's going on. So I'm like, tell me this is at least working. Please tell me this is at least working. And I went over to it's the Scarlett, Focusrite Scarlett. And I started touching the knob. That's the sensitivity knob. And I turned it a little bit all the way to the right, and I talked, and all of a sudden it like lit up like a Christmas tree. I was like, okay, it is working. The only problem was this microphone is actually less sensitive than my old one. It requires more open sensitivity to actually get the audio. So I was like, oh, I have to open it up. So I adjusted it back and forth a little bit to get it to the point where it seems like it's working just as well as the old mic, as, you know, with the sensitivity settings and receiving audio and stuff. So I got that working. Okay, so it's working with the preamp. But what's going on with the mic? The light's not on. I'm touching it. Nothing's happening. It doesn't seem to have any effect. So I open up. I start reading the instructions, right? It says, oh yeah, this mic has functionality with both USB and XLR. Oh, by the way, if you want to use it just with XLR, it has absolutely none of the features. None of the features. No touching, no light adjustment to tell you what mode you're on, absolutely nothing, like literally nothing. Okay? What the hell? This is absolutely ridiculous. So I have to be using it USB only in order to get the features out of it. Well, that sucks, because here's the thing. I could use it USB. I have a USB 3.0 port open right now, but then I can't use my preamp. So if I don't use the preamp, the audio levels are going to sound completely different. I'm not going to have the adjustability that I want, you know. So basically what would happen is if I don't use my preamp, I'm forced to use the software that the microphone comes with. Now, I'm not saying that the software is bad. It's a name brand. Sure, that's a name brand for microphone. But do I really want to have to rely on that software being fully compatible with OBS and everything working properly? Do I want to learn a whole new suite of software to use this microphone? Not right now, okay? So I'm not saying that eventually I may not use USB 3.0. It's just going to be frustrating because the cord they give you isn't long. The cord they give you is very short. So how am I supposed to have a USB 3.0 cord going from this all the way down this boom arm, all the way down the side of my desk, all the way across my floor, all the way to the PC over there? And I'm going to have to buy extension cables and everything for the thing, you know? So it is pretty frustrating. I wish that it was more clear. Like, no lie, nowhere online does it actually say that if you use this microphone with XLR, you get no features. it says the opposite. Like, it says, oh, fully compatible with XLR. Then why don't you say that the features don't work? Why do I have to buy it, open it, and read the instruction paper inside to find out that it's a half-featured mic using XLR? That's pretty dumb. But like I said, I paid just under $250 for it, but that's because it has features. It has the touch, it has all these features, and now I can't use them, okay? So, I'll have to look into that right now. I just wanted it to work immediately. So I'm using XLR, and I'm using it with my Focusrite preamp, okay? So, I then went into OBS, and I wanted to do a couple demos. So first, I turned off all of my filters. Every single filter. Off. Okay? And when I did that, and I recorded, the volume was very low. And I was like, oh, that's not good. I wonder why the volume is so low. So then I went and I turned on all the filters that I had previously used with my other mic, and I did a demo recording, and it actually was working really good. But I was like, it sounds just slightly low, so let me up the gain. So then I upped the gain. It was at 8. I upped it to 11, and I hit record, and now it sounds good. And that's when I started doing the testing of me live, like, stuff like that. And as you can hear, it doesn't drop off. It doesn't cut off any sounds like it used to. That was the major problem with my mic earlier in the year when I put these filters on. It was cutting all this stuff off, okay? And, now it won't anymore, hopefully. So that's the big improvement. Now the other improvement, of course, is it's pointing at me, so it's very maneuverable, unlike the other mic where I had to have the certain side of the mic kind of aiming at me and I needed to have a special pop guard on it and all of that. This one already has the built-in filter on it. As you can see, it has that guard on it. You don't need like an additional guard to use this style of microphone. And it's very easy to maneuver with a boom arm. So this is going to be easier to use with a boom arm, adjusting the angles or whatever to get it to sound good. Like actually when I was about to start today's podcast, all right, I was actually going to have the desk over there, and I had the boom arm stretched all the way out to reach me, and I was like, oh, wait a minute, I want to play you guys a video. So if I want to play you a video, well, obviously what I need to do then is I need to have the boom arm in a different position. So I moved the desk over, I readjusted the boom arm, and it works fine. As you can see, it's pointed at me. It's not in my face, but it's at a good angle to reach me, and you can hear it well. Now, could it be a little better? Yeah, for example, let me show you. So now it's literally right in my face. And as you can probably hear, it sounds a little better. It'll catch my bass even better. But I would need to have the mic like right there in my face to get the optimal audio. Do we really want me eating the mic? Probably not. Okay, so it's all depends, depending on the situation or what I'm doing, I could have it closer. Maybe, for example, if I'm going to be doing an interview, maybe I actually want the microphone closer, because then it doesn't really care. You're not looking at the visuals at the interview as much, right? But for the most part, I think it's probably going to be like this. Slightly more back, slightly angled. Right, just to kind of be there at the right angle of the camera or whatever. And I think this is going to be like the optimal kind of situation. Yeah. And the good thing is, again, when you're using effects, it completely erases the microphone. Now look, I'm fully on camera. And so when I'm playing games particularly, for example, when I'm doing this, the microphone is completely off camera now. And of course I'll aim it a little better, but as you can see, this would be playing right now. As you can see, it's fine. The microphone is not in the shot whatsoever, but we're still getting good audio, right? So there you go. Now, let's do a test. All right, we're going to do a test right now of the sensitivity. This should be fine because I'm using these same exact filters that I was using previously, okay? So what I want to do, I want to watch this video with you guys. This is me yesterday playing Call of Duty Black Ops 6. Okay, now on keyboard and mouse, going on a tear using just the knife. All right? What I should probably do here is, I'll probably just play the video and I'll turn myself off so you don't actually see me here on the screen. That way. you can actually watch the raw video. So I'm going to leave the microphone on, and what I want to do as a test, live, is see if this microphone picks up the ambient noise of the video. Okay? So let's do a test right now. It's only 3 minutes. Let's watch this together, okay? Alright, let's go. Here we go. A. Oh, B. I'm taking this one. Alpha secure. That was a good kill. We played your fucking now painted. That was a good kill. Sure and P. Yeah. A good kill. Go. That was a good kill. Private. Bring it in, Rika. Taking C. A. Hard table. Then it's good chill. Losing A. Just wasting it. That was a good chill. Damn, double rocket chill. Double rocket kill. Losing B. So, I'm still here, guys, but I was being quiet to test the microphone. Here, I'll turn my camera back on now. I was being quiet to test the microphone. It is not picking up anything from the TV at all. It is dead silent. So this is excellent. What this means is I should be able to gain, and it won't echo. I think it's a successful test, especially a game like this that's loud, and it's not doing it. So I think we're good in this regard. It seems to be working well. The one thing I'm fighting, though, is you see it's cutting off my nose. My AI, effects seem to be cutting off my nose there as I was playing, right? So that's perfect. No echo whatsoever. And it's great. So there's 2 reasons why we were watching this clip. The first is obviously the mic test, but the other is that I want to let you know that I made this video. Now, let's talk a little bit about that, okay? Let's go back to the podcast now. So you might be wondering, why is she showing us this video? Well, the reason I'm showing you that video is because every day, at least almost every day, it's not exactly every day, but almost every day, what I try to do is to highlight some of the more notable things that happened during the content of that day here on the channel, whether it's a highlight of a notable segment here during the podcast, whether it's a gameplay highlight like I just did there. And what I'm trying to do is get better at video editing. So I'm choosing effects. I'm zooming in on myself. I'm trying to learn how to do all of this stuff. Okay? Well, normally here's what I do. I'll edit the video. I'll upload it. And then I'll have it publish overnight at a certain time. You can actually schedule videos to go live on YouTube and publish into people's inboxes at a certain time. And then that way you don't flood their inbox. For example, last night I was already uploading 2 parts of Indiana Jones and I was uploading the daily wrap. So obviously I don't want to have my highlight video, some of the best stuff of the day, to show up at the same time as that, because then everything hits everyone's inbox at once and it gets flooded. Everyone's like, oh, it's too much content. Now I'm overloaded or whatever, and then they don't check it out. Well, guess what I forgot to do? I forgot to set it up to publish overnight. So here's what happened with said video. It went live right in the middle of the other videos uploading. So basically, it was like that video and the daily wrap went live at exactly the same time. And then within an hour, the 2 other Indiana Jones videos went live. So what happened? I'll tell you what happened. No one watched the highlight video. And that upsets me. Why? Because I think it's a good video. It's a bunch of excellent knife kills. It's kind of fun. You see, we get double kills with a rocket and stuff like that. And I put effort into editing it. That's something I'm trying to get better at. I'm trying to learn how to do it fast and learn new transitions and learn all these effects and things. And literally, as of today, this morning, the video's been out for about 13, 14 hours and 200 people have watched it. Obviously, it doesn't warrant my time to edit it then, does it? But that's not your fault. At all. That's stupid YouTube. Because here's what happened. It published, and I said, oh crap. Obviously, I don't want it to be live now, because if it's live now, no one's gonna see it. It's gonna be mixed in with the Daily Rap and the Indiana Jones videos. So then I said it, and I said, let's have it be pushed out and go live around like midnight. Okay? So it went live for like 1 minute, and then it got set to private, scheduled it for midnight. And then it went public on midnight. Here's the problem. Here's how dumb YouTube is. Again, book smart versus street smart, and this pisses me off. If a video goes live, and then you set it to private, when you make it public again, no one knows, and it hits absolutely no one's inbox. You wanna know when I learned about that? 2009. Yes, I'm not kidding you. 2009, I learned about this, and it's 2024, and in 15 years, YouTube didn't fix it. They were just too busy to fix this fatal flaw with their system. How do I know? Because in 2009, I did a special Halloween surprise, or was it 2010? Actually, I take it back. It was 2010, so it's been 14 years. I played Fahrenheit, also known as Indigo Prophecy. Okay? The reason I played it is because earlier in the year, Heavy Rain had come out and people loved my playthrough of Heavy Rain. And I said, oh, I'll play their predecessor game, but this is going to be my Halloween special for 2010. So I had filmed the entire playthrough early. The entirety of it. I did this big montage trailer saying, oh, it's coming on October 31st. Be here. It's going to go live and all of that. So I uploaded the videos, but when I uploaded them, I accidentally had them set to public instead of private. So it already published the videos, and then I made them private and set them to go live on the 31st. When I finally had all the videos go live on the 31st, I'm not exaggerating, because back then I had this much attention, probably about 300 to 400 messages of people who wrote me and were leaving comments and were posting on my forums. Where is the videos? We were waiting. Where is Indigo Prophecy? You promised us a playthrough of Indigo Prophecy on Halloween and we didn't get it. I was like, what are you talking about? Videos are all live right now on the channel. No. What are you talking about? We're subscribed to you and we're checking. There's no videos. What do you mean? So we found out, yeah, if the videos publish early and then you make them private and you set them to go publish again later, they don't publish. They are visible, but people actually have to go seek out and find the videos. None of your subscribers will see the video. So right now I have over 200,000 subs. Out of that, I probably have, let's be honest, 5,000 active viewers. Out of the 5,000 active viewers I have, only 200 people went to YouTube and said, let's see what's going on with Phil's channel today, and found the highlight video. Everyone else didn't know it existed because it didn't publish to your inboxes. If you're a subscriber, no one got to see it. So all the effort I put in last night to do this nice edited video that I thought was pretty well done and funny because it has good gameplay elements and everything, no one saw it. And of course, you had a fucking troll on the video. You only got 100 views in 6 hours. You actually didn't publish. No one knows it exists.
Thank you everyone for watching, and I will see you on the next one.